What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some expectations for this upcoming week, what might cause some volatility in the stock price, and where it might be going from here. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, Thursday and Friday are going to be big ones to watch for. So Thursday you have GDP, and then on Friday, PCE. So both have the ability to really move the market. So that's in the second half of the week. Aside from that, almost every single day you have three Fed speakers. So depending on what is stated, that could obviously impact the market. I'll throw this up here, just do what you want with this information, but this ultimately does go to show how impactful Fed speakers are to the market. So on the lower end, you have Waller, Barkin, Harker, Williams. So post speech, that those individuals cause usually a pullback in the broader market, whereas Logan, Messler, Kugler are kind of the opposite. So post speech, that usually pushes them higher. You also do have Powell on Tuesday and Wednesday, so that of course in among itself could be quite impactful. But companies unveiling their earnings, not really that much. That could potentially MU, so Micron, could impact the market a little bit in the tech sector. But aside from that, it is going to be the data points and also the market digesting what happened on Saturday. So in case you do not know, the States did attack Iran, kind of some controlled areas. So just the 3 nuclear sites, I do believe, but I think now the ball is in Iran's court. So we want to see as far as retaliation, but as of right now, you do see crypto selling off like crazy. So this is typically a indication of what is going to come on Monday. So Bitcoin's down 3.75. You have Ethereum down 9.3, Ripple down 7.6. So you're seeing people's appetite for risk really diminish. So again, that could definitely flow into the broader market as well on Monday, and as well extend a little bit further than that. But specific to Lucid though, this is what they have. So for this upcoming week, looks like today is going to be the last day for Electrify the Expo in LA. Aside from that though, it's still going to be, looks like, in Boston, in Nashville, and that's for the most part it. So hopefully this week Lucid does actually have some news. As I've kind of mentioned in the past, the market very much appreciates Lucid putting out news and causes it to go up. Abnormal volume, algorithmic trading really pushes it higher. So hopefully individuals and executives at Lucid is more aware of that and they put out some news, because even one piece of news that they have not actually fully come out with was Blacklane. So we do know, I think from everything back in April, that was a partnership, because they had a big press conference. Like, I don't know why they're trying to hide it like it's some top secret type of thing. Put that out in news and explain to investors how impactful or positive that is going to be for the market. So hopefully they do have some stuff kind of conjured up. But aside from that, going into this week, 30.74% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 379.08 million shares. Cost to borrow average has been really inching up. So it is sitting at 9.9. So that could potentially be impactful down the line. Not as much as actually putting out news or something, but still that could be a little bit more of a natural deterrent for just shorts. So again, this is where we are at. I personally don't really see shorts doing all that much in the first half of the trading day. Most likely they'll be relatively reactive in the second half based on GDP and also PCE. That's just my opinion, of course, but looking forward into this upcoming week for the options. So the bulls are anticipating for it to be roughly around that 250. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 250. So oddly enough, that seems to be, even though we're at 219 right now, 250 seems to be a key role for that. But this is the open interest on a side note. So if, let's say, Lucid does gain some good momentum, you might see shorts wake up closer to the Friday, as they will try to suppress Lucid below that 250. Again, that is kind of best case scenario if it does really move higher. But you did have 9,000 in the money at that $2 strike price. So you might see a little bit of a bump up come Monday, but you did also see some abnormal transactions after hours on Friday. So I'm sure market makers already were starting to cover. So letting you know that you might see a little bit more of an abnormal bump up next week. But aside from that, though, with that 219, it is trading currently between this R1 and the pivot. So 216 is a strong support, 222 is a next strong target / resistance. And I know a lot of people are really disappointed about Lucid's kind of price action recently, but even if you compare Lucid right now to a lot of other growth stocks, the fact that it is still trading between on the higher end, so the R1 and the pivot, it's actually doing relatively okay. Of course, I would like it to be a lot higher than what it is, but again, comparing growth stocks, it's doing relatively good. So 216 is going to be a strong support. Just watch for that. Then 210, 205. That's, of course, if we do have a pullback come Monday because of kind of the strikes on Iran. So just kind of take note of a lot of these and whatever else, but no new analyst ratings, nothing really planned, no fireside chats or anything. So it is going to be just the data points, interpretation of what happened against Iran, and Lucid's technicals. Lucid's technicals, they do look rather poor, to be fully fair, but it is below all the key pivotal moving averages, so the 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages. Stochastic RSI is somewhat neutral, so with most likely a consolidation in the first couple trading days, this could reset back to the oversold status. So again, could really stand to benefit Lucid if we do have good GDP and also PCE. But it's going to be a volatile time for Lucid and just the broader market. So for those of you that believe in Lucid, take advantage of the dips and so forth. So let me know your general thoughts on Lucid. Where do you see things going? I myself, going into this upcoming week, factoring in everything, I do feel that we will be kind of between this S1 and this S2, so between 205 and 210. And that would largely be because of just what's happening kind of in the Middle East and so forth. Again, assuming Lucid's not really going to put out any news or anything, it's going to be at the mercy of kind of algorithmic trading, and that is very damaging to obviously the broader market and even Lucid. So lately, you've not really seen that level of institutional buying that we saw kind of 2 weeks ago. So that's where I see things going. I would ideally love to say 250 or above, but I think that would be dependent on operational updates. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Are you buying the dip? Are you selling? What's your general thoughts on Lucid? And throw your price predictions in the comments below. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.